Let's do this, man.
Right. Let me give an introduction. Hi, everyone. This is my podcast, The-SpinOff. I'm Rafael Abreu, your host, and today we're here with a very special person for a lot of students here at NJIT, Ricky Palaguachi.
Thank you.
How's it going?
I've been enjoying life lately. I think that I've been very happy, and I need to get humbled very soon. And I think I'm ready to talk about whatever it is that you have presented here in front of me, and I don't know, go back and forth and see what comes out of it.
Right. I mean, it's all depend on this wheel right here.
Yeah, this wheel is staring me down in the face.
Yeah. It's just random. I don't know. Do you want to start?
Should I spin it?
Yeah. You
I get the.
You gotta get the first spin. There you go.
I wonder if it's a good. Oh, it spins well. All right, let's go.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay, so our starter topic will be about failures. So shit, I am getting humbled very quickly
Oh
here.
my god, failures. I'm just gonna put this inside.
Okay.
So, failures. That's a big word.
Failures is a big word. Off the mic, we were talking about how you see me as a success, which I laughed at internally, because being a success entails failing many times, and it's usually abstracted away. Success is seen on the surface level, but underneath the hood, there's tons of failures that had to occur for you to actually become and be seen as a success. There's a quote that I heard recently. It goes along the lines of being a success is overcoming multiple repeated failures time after time after time, again and again, but consistently showing up every single time and not letting that demotivate you.
Right.
Keeping that same
Right.
energy time after time again, after getting your face put in the dirt, falling on your ass, getting choked, beat up, kicked in the face,
Just getting strangled, just getting beaten up.
yeah, and it's something that I actively practice every night.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How are you okay?
I'm used to it
Are you still standing? Why are you not in the hospital? I mean,
because I do jujitsu.
nice.
No, that's a huge thing about jiu-jitsu that I've been practicing many times, is that part of starting a martial art like that one in particular, you go into the role, you go into the sparring session to test yourself. It's practice.
Right.
But it's practice in the sense that you are increasing the amplitude up to 99% every single time, because it's an art where you're basically on the edge of passing out, breaking a limb every single time.
Right.
You know, you have someone who's about to choke you unconscious, and then at the very last possible moment, you put in a fighting chance. You're going out on your shield. You're going in. You're struggling. You're trying to get out of this other person's grip around your neck.
Right.
And then until the very last possible moment, you just let out that you tap.
Right.
And then, okay, everything's back to normal. But you're on that brink. You're pushing it to 11 every single time.
Right.
And when you eventually give up, that's just normal. Everybody taps in the gym, and the mats will see it all. You'll leave it all out there, and the consistent practice of showing up every single night. I'm going after this, matter of fact. And
Don't die.
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
But the consistent practice of going in and testing yourself every single night, and always going against the people who will kick your ass and failing in turn, that just prepares you for day-to-day life, and it doesn't seem that bad anyways.
Right.
So,
you just gotta let go, basically.
Yeah,
You just gotta.
It's failure is part of life.
Right.
It's normal.
Right.
If you don't fail, then you're doing something wrong, and which is kind of recursive. If you're not failing, you're doing something wrong.
Oh my god, that's a mind fuck right there.
A little bit, yeah, sure.
Kind of.
When was the last time you failed?
Oof. I don't actually think about it too much, because
No?
I just try to block those feelings, and but the last time I failed, I would say that, it was like today.
Okay.
I will take this as a failure because I haven't put enough effort into my studies lately. So
Okay.
yeah, it's showing up in my grades a little bit. And then like communication with my family members, like I would say I failed with my relationship with my family, and it doesn't bother me, but it's like something that I try to accomplish to get better, but it's just a failure right there. It's not like a hardship. It's just something that happened, and and it's just like doesn't feel like wrong. I just learn from it, and then I just realize that I don't actually like need them in some kind of way, you know.
Yeah, independent sense as a coming of age as you grow as an
Right,
adult.
right, right,
Right.
right. Yeah, because I've been independent for a most part of my life. So like,
Right.
I would say that's a failure. But like more technical failures is like, you're gonna laugh a little bit when
Okay.
I almost dropped the database for my job. Yeah, that was a scary moment.
Could be catastrophic, but
Yeah.
I would turn the table and say if they give someone who's, you know, a university student, essentially an intern, the right to
A
crash.
sophomore.
You're a sophomore in
A
college,
sophomore,
right?
right.
You're still learning. You're still
Right.
at the level of an intern.
Right.
If they, as a company, have the permissions, or essentially, if you, as the intern, are able to wipe the entire company's database, they're doing something wrong. I don't think that's a question of you, because
Right.
you're the beginner.
That-
They should be accommodating for you.
That's like a failure of their structure
Yes.
per se.
Yes.
Like why they gave me that much of a power in my current level of education.
Mhm.
Maybe they trust me too much.
Not education, experience.
Experience. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at least at Google, when I was there, I remember part of the onboarding that we did, there was like countless amounts of kind of have like these sort of like internal blog posts within, I mean, there's documentation for all the tech that they use and all the trainings that are a part of it, right? But then there's a bit of commentary on the side.
Right.
And then I remember reading one of the commentary pieces it said something along the lines of, if you're able to take down Google search, we did something wrong. Or something to that magnitude, to that extent, right?
Right.
If you're able to take down X Google product, then we did something wrong as a company. The more senior people who've been here for the 20 years that the company has existed, how did you, the intern, because I
Right.
was an intern there too, how did you take this down? How can we learn from that instead of putting the blame on you and killing, not killing you, but like firing you from the company, instead of like, how do we learn from that experience and prevent that from happening again in the future? Because failures, again, like I said, they're bound to happen.
Right.
They're
Right.
bound to happen.
Right.
You can't learn. If someone like you in your position are new to whatever industry, whatever area of expertise, you, by definition, are new, and so you don't have that firsthand knowledge of what an expert is. And going back to the
Right.
jiu-jitsu analogy, there's white belts, then blue, then purple, then brown, then black, and the specific order doesn't matter, but the only difference between, fundamentally speaking, between a white belt and a black belt is that the black belt has just consistently shown up time and time again and never stopped.
Right.
They're just a white belt that never quit. And so you, as the beginner in whatever field that you're going into, be it podcasting, be it photography, be it computer science, programming,
Right.
be it skateboarding, surfing,
course,
for all I care
of
about,
course.
whatever it is, embrace the failure that will come at the beginning.
Right,
because you
right.
can't, to start something new and get good, you have to be bad first. That's just human nature.
Right. Right. A
Yeah.
lot of people is not ready for failure.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, at the beginning I was just like afraid of like feeling like I'm not worth anything, because failure is like combined with like how much you are worth somehow. And then like here in college, it's like a lot of students are afraid of failure because either they are on financial aid, and if they fail the classes, then they're gone for, and they don't have anything else to do, and that's the only thing that matters to them, not to feel like a failure. But then, if they happen to fail, which they will somehow, then they're gonna get demotivated, and that's gonna make them fail even more consistently.
That is the feedback loop from hell.
Right. It's so funny because now I get that analogy
Yes.
right there.
So,
Yeah.
for the listeners, the feedback loop from hell, it comes from, I mean,
Right.
The idea is fresher in your mind. It comes from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which
Right.
I had recommended to you before,
Right.
maybe like, a week or two ago at this point?
Right, like 2 weeks ago.
Something
Amazing
like that.
book.
So, the feedback loop from hell, at least my understanding of it, is this loop that commences after overcoming some negative, not even overcoming, but after experiencing some negative emotion, experience, trauma, or just inconvenience, right? It doesn't even have to be that severe. It could just be like, ow, I stubbed my toe. Or it could be
Right.
as small as that, or it could be like, oh shit, I crashed my car. Like,
Right.
it could be small or big. But then it's this rabbit hole that you fall into where it's like, oh shit, like, I was getting ready for work and then I spilled my coffee and now I don't have my coffee to energize and wake up for the morning, and now I'm gonna go to work and I'm not gonna have energy and I have to sit in traffic, and then oh my god, I just walked out the front door and I see my car's tire is popped, and my car's tire is popped, I'm gonna be late and I have to pay for this thing, and oh my god, my life sucks, I have to call my boss, I have to call out, lose a day of work, my boss is gonna be mad at me, I'm gonna be angry, I'm gonna lose my job,
That's
and then it
just super quick. Oh my god.
and then all of that,
Oh
you know,
my
your
God.
thoughts will go faster than my rate of speech.
Right.
So you have to catch yourself prior to that.
Oh my God, that's
and
stressful.
The awareness of knowing that your mind can go into those places is invaluable. And it's whether or not you succumb to those thoughts and that memory, that trace of thoughts that will come to you, and whether or not you decide to let your mind go down that path or catch yourself at the shit, I spilled my coffee. And then just nothing. Like, okay,
It's just
sucks.
It's just
Sucks.
Whatever.
Good. Like,
Whatever.
move on. Like,
right.
okay,
Right.
go to work.
It's not the end of the word.
Yeah. Tires popped, get an Uber. Like, you know, like, go.
Just
Figure
spend
it
the
out.
$20.
Figure it out. You know, it's like there's, and then you could come at me and you could say, like, what if I don't have the money? What if I'm broke? Well, then you're doing a lot of other things wrong, I think, at that point. Like, if
Okay.
like, there's ways to go about it. There's ways to go about setting up the systems right for you to, once you have that awareness, I feel like this system has become easier to establish in your day-to-day, at least mentally speaking.
Right. Right.
And then in turn, that'll go to your finances and
Right,
your,
right,
your,
right.
your success. So to speak.
So, oh my god, would you say there is a solution for failure?
Keep going.
Right.
That's it. Fail again.
Just do it again.
Go. Whatever it is. Like, it's the world doesn't revolve around you. Tomorrow will still come.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, the sun is still setting. The moon will still rise. Like, if it can do it, so can you.
Right.
Like,
right.
just keep on showing up time after time again. You think the sun cares that, like, the moon is, like, taking the spotlight for 12 hours? No.
I mean, it's your word though. It's you. Right.
It's your ego.
It's your ego. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not
wow.
you.
It's not. It's your ego.
Does a dog or a fish or anything without that sort of mental cognition, that consciousness that we humans have, give a fuck about any of this stuff? No, a dog just is. A dog just is. You know, it's like they're just being. You know?
He's just being. He's just vibing during the day.
Sure, yeah.
Eating, playing, being happy to see his owner, basically.
Look, a dog of some celebrity will love the celebrity as not a celebrity, but as a partner, as a human, as a
Right.
as their their companion.
Right.
A dog doesn't care that you're on the cover of Vogue.
Right.
No,
Right.
Just fucking
It's-
be, man.
It's
Like,
just life, basically.
the concerns that we have around failure are purely from the ego. The problems that we construct define our identity.
Ooh.
And a lot of people have trouble with that. And this isn't an idea for myself. This is an idea that I've read recently from Eckhart Tolle. That the problems that, well, our identity stems from the problems that we claim that we have.
Right.
And if I tell you that your problems don't matter, you're gonna have some sort of inner resistance.
I'm just gonna be mad at you. You know, I'm just
Right,
gonna.
that naturally will make you upset.
Right, I'm gonna be like, oh, who are you? So
Yeah, like you're telling me my problems don't matter.
Right, like why my problems matter to me, you know, and you're
Sure.
telling me like they don't matter. It's like
It's your ego that's you're trying to feed. That your
like,
entire identity has been built around those problems that you constantly have. Oh, these are problems that I've had in the past. Like,
Right.
oh, look, my complexion isn't good. I have bad skin, or I'm not tall enough, or I can't see, or like, oh, I walk a little weird, or I talk a little funny, or my ideas aren't like I have no friends. Like you could come up with all these problems, or like I don't know enough, or tech isn't right for me, or I've always been bad with computers, or oh, I don't have good financial skills and literacy. Like there's all these different problems that define who we are and see ourselves as.
right.
But in a more spiritual sense, you can just let go of all of them and just be like,
Just let it go.
just
you
live
know?
in the now. Like,
yeah, just.
and I'm not saying that. I'm saying that your problems don't matter. I mean, to move forward in life, like there has to be some push. There has to be some reason to
some
get
motivation.
up in the moment. Sure,
There must be something.
sure,
Right.
but at the same time, you can at least flip your perspective into seeing, no, they kind of don't matter at the same time, and for your well-being, at least for your well-being, for the spirit, for the soul, for your whatever symbol you want to put towards it.
Right.
It's your mental health, whatever it is. I think that you just gotta keep
They
going.
don't actually matter. Like those problems at that point might be the end of the world, and like
They can certainly seem like it.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that I've never had these problems either.
Right,
Like,
right.
look, I've gotten into car accidents.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much, I've every problem that I've listed here. It's like these are problems that I've had in the past.
Right.
That I've let go
Right. Right.
because they happen in a moment, and that's let them have their moment.
Right.
And after that moment is gone, just keep on going with the current moment.
Right.
You'll only ever have the current moment.
Right. You're living in the present. You're living.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
living in the.
In the now.
In the now.
Yeah. I've been reading The Power of Now.
I
That's the name of the book by Eckhart Tolle.
love books.
And it's fascinating. It's honestly that book has made me feel immense spiritual power, and I don't mean this in like a corny like woo kind of sense either. The reading some of those words that he's written have genuinely made me feel not high, but I mean it's very similar of a transition going from this like conscious sober like existence and then like smoking weed for the first time, and then you're like there's a transition, there's a change here, there's a change, right?
Right.
Like, you feel a difference.
Right, you see, like, what's whoa?
Yeah, you see the world a little differently. Your thoughts go different. It could be weed, it could be alcohol, it could be psychedelics, it could be whatever, you know. And reading those pages have had that same profound mental transformation for the present, you know, moment.
Oh.
Yeah, and it has
Right.
left an impression on me.
Right.
That book.
Wow. So like you just were reading super concentrated, and then you just had the feeling that you were high.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
a spiritual high.
Spiritual.
I think
high.
that's what Eckhart Tolle would like me to call it. It's he probably wouldn't even refer to it as
Spiritual
being
high.
high. It's kind of I think he would call it as being,
being,
just existing,
just feeling.
just you know, being and not thinking and escaping from time, and just focusing on now, because that's all you will ever have.
Right. Right. Wow. I mean, I remember the first time I tried weed.
Let's talk about it.
At this moment, Ricky and Raphael went into a very long conversation about weed, traveling into the unknown and mystery until they got back on track again.
We are 36 minutes in.
Sure, I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah.
I can keep talking.
Yeah, I can keep talking too. Yeah. But let's wrap up.
Sure.
Any final thoughts about failures? About how to overcome them instead of just keep going? Or that's your only word to say? Like, how did you realize that you were failing, and how did you switch your mindset to like just go for it and don't get bothered about it?
I definitely believe in the power of identity. If identifying with the goal that you want. So understand that if you want something and you attain it, then you become successful. Sure, that's kind of the nature of it. But when you're in that pursuit, you haven't become the success yet. So you're in that state of doing or becoming. However, if you already identify yourself as saying like, oh, I have done the thing. Let's say you're quitting smoking, for example, right? And you're going about your day to day. You're telling your friends like, yeah, I'm quitting smoking, or yeah, I'm going on a diet, or yeah, I'm exercising, or yeah, like I'm working on X, Y, Z. Rather than just saying like I'm working on it or I'm actively doing it, say that you have quit smoking.
Right.
I just did it now. Like you know, say that you no longer smoke. Say that you are someone who has kicked the habit, rather than like, oh, I'm working on it. Because then like you kind of have this like this little bit of you that's saying like maybe I can slip back into it. Or like if you're applying for a job interview, this is a good life hack for you as someone who's a young professional. Assume that you have the job already during the interview.
Right.
It's a powerful trick, because if you assume that you have the job already, then the people you're talking to are your teammates.
Right.
You would talk to your teammates as if they're an equal.
Not a superiors.
Not a superior. Because once you have that frame of mind, that mindset of saying like, oh, we're equals, I already have the job, then your whole demeanor changes. And so with that little hack, so to speak, that little trick, I've understood that it alleviates a lot of the anxieties that I've had, saying like, oh my God, like this is such a stressful environment. Like, oh my God, like I don't have the job yet. What if I fail? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I don't go according to the script? Or like, what if they laugh at me? Like laugh with them. Like, you know, it's like they're your equal. Like it's fine. Like
right.
you're just buddies. We're all human. Like we're all human. We all go to sleep at night. We all wake up groggy. Like we all have to go to the bathroom. Like we all have to eat. We all have to like sneeze and cough and go to the bathroom. Like all these, we're all human. We're all human, and that has helped me realize that I shouldn't take too many things too serious. Humility is a huge one. Is a huge belief of mine. Just stay foolish and stay humble.
Stay humble.
Because failure is a part of life. You will fail. That is human nature. Think about it. When you were a kid learning to walk, how many times did you fall? Do you think about that often? No, you don't think about it, because you just walk now.
You just got over it.
You just got over it.
Just go over it.
Yeah. It's learning to ride a bike. I remember this is a story about teaching my niece how to ride a bike. The first thing that I told her was, you will fall. She had been like asking me for days, weeks. She's like, I want to learn how to ride a bike. I want to learn how to ride a bike. I said, sure, we can learn. But she had this pent up excitement around it, and she had never done it yet. And then I told her, like, okay, today's the day. Let's go and ride the bike. We had a bike. We had training wheels still too. And I told her, like, let's go to the parking lot. Let's go ride the bike. So she gets on the bike, and before she even pedals, the first thing that I tell her is, you will fall today.
Right.
And that's okay. Right. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then she goes about pedaling, right? She goes about pedaling. I tell her, all right, this is how you steer. You got to shift your weight this way. You got to turn the handlebars that way. And then now do a circle here in this parking lot. And they're like, oh, go straight, turn around, come back. And oh, do a figure eight. And I tell her all these things. And then she starts picking it up after a while. And with the training wheels, she's perfectly safe and fine.
Right.
And then she gets cocky. Right. And she's like, oh, I can do this whole thing. And then blah, 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 blah. And then, like, I'm trying to, like, guide her. Like, I'm trying to, like, walk with her. Like, we're going at a pace where I can walk comfortably. I'm walking a little fast, and she's biking, right? And she's like, I can go faster than you. So then she starts pedaling quicker.
Right.
And I'm like, and then I can't keep up with her at a walking pace anymore. I'd have to run. And I'm like, slow down.
It's
slow down.
Running behind.
Slow down.
Yeah.
And she doesn't slow down. And I'm like, all right, I'll just let her be. And then she goes makes a left turn, and boom, falls on her side, like scrapes up her elbow, bloodies her knees, and she's crying, wailing, and she's like, ah. And I could be like, I told you so. But, like, I just said, like, I mean, yeah, I did say, I told you so.
Were you laughing?
Of course. Of course. I said, like, you
That's
will
funny.
fall.
Yeah.
You will fall.
Laughing at kids. Kids, yeah.
Because I have a good relationship with her, and she's fine with it. And I think that lesson goes deep, like, for the rest of her life. Like, she will fail. Like, we will all fail.
Right.
You will fall off the bike. And it's accepting that that's going to happen.
Right.
And just after she's done crying, she just got back up and was like, all right, let's go back home now. And she biked perfectly fine. Like, she learned how to do the thing.
Right.
She just had to fall once. And then now she's fine.
And then she just learned from it. And then, yeah, got up.
Just get up.
Yeah.
Just keep on. Fall 7 times, get up 8.
Right. She's a pro rider now in bikes.
I mean, I don't think she's picked up the bike in a while because she's, like, grown up now. But
yeah. Great analogy right there.
just fall 7 times, get up 8.
Right. Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
Same. What a nice conversation. Yeah. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you for listening.